If you've ever struggled to stay consistent with anything in your life, this video is for you. Today marks 5 years, 1,826 days of choosing 1 mile a day, even when everything around me felt uncertain. On December 1st, 2020, in the height of the pandemic, when all the gyms were closed and life felt, strange, I set a goal to run 1 mile or more a day every single day for the next 30 days. The first week was easy, right? The second week, not too bad. And then the third week just challenged me. As the days got shorter and the mornings got colder, it's winter after all, but I kept going. That first month became a commitment that reshaped me. And some people will assume it's motivation that keeps me going. And yes, motivation does help, but not every day, especially not when I need it the most, because motivation is a feeling and feelings change. The moment I see that it's raining outside and I remember my warm bed and I hear the rain and realize it's really cold and wet outside, that motivation is instantly gone. It disappears faster than my kids when I ask them to do the dishes. When motivation fades, I then turn to discipline. Discipline will usually get me out the door. Usually. Discipline is that voice that says, just go. You always feel better once you start. But even discipline can go on strike. It can be overpowered by our non-negotiables. For me, it usually happens the moment real life steps in, such as parenting, when making my boys a small snack becomes a whole day of baking in the kitchen. Sometimes I'll be fully committed and then suddenly remember the laundry I never folded, or that one email I should probably answer first, or that the bananas on the counter are definitely turning into banana bread if I don't do something about it. Some days discipline loses the fight to, let me just watch this one funny reel because I love to laugh. And we all know how that goes, right? Next thing you know, I look outside and it's already dark. And that's when I know discipline is not coming to save me. So if it's not motivation or discipline, then what? Here are my 5 very real reasons why I was able to keep showing up even when everything in me just wants to stay in. Number 1, running became the way I release what I hold for others. I'm sitting across a client and I'm listening to a young mother, and she talks about her painful grief of missing her child. And I am reminded of my kids and how devastating it would be for me if I'm not able to be with them. And then in the next session, a man shares his fear and anger after a recent violent racial attack. And after the session, I get up and I leave my office and I am left with something heavy. It's vicarious trauma. Vicarious trauma is the emotional and physical impact that can develop when you work closely with people who have experienced trauma. And when you listen deeply, support others through their pain, or carry their stories with empathy, your nervous system can begin to react as if the trauma happened to you. Vicarious trauma can happen in any workplace where you can absorb other people's stress. It's not just in a therapy setting. It can also happen in a corporate setting. It shows up when you are the one listening to overwhelmed coworkers, if you're the one managing crises or carrying the emotional weight of your team. And over time, your nervous system can start reacting to their pressure as if it were your own. And it leaves you drained, tense, and unable to unwind, even when the problems are not yours. After a long day of work and I feel the pressure in my chest, I grab my shoes and I step outside. My stride is slow at first and my mind is still replaying everything that I heard that day, and then able to breathe a little easier, and my stride begins to find its rhythm. and then something shifts. The weight of that energy I have absorbed, it starts to kind of loosen and it lifts. Running becomes the release my body needs. It's how I'm able to stay present for my clients and support them without carrying their pain as my own. Number 2, running became a form of self-care and nervous system protection. There are mornings when my mind is racing with everything I need to do. My thoughts feel disorganized, my shoulders are tight. I can tell my nervous system is reaching its limit, especially during the holidays when I'm hosting and my family's coming over. Years ago, I would have ignored every sign. We may look forward to seeing family during the holidays, yet still feel a rise in stress without fully really understanding why. And this impacts how we show up in these events, right? So this is a human response, and it helps to name it with compassion. So what usually happens is sometimes the people that we love, they bring energy, expectations, and old dynamics that kind of strain our nervous system. What often happens is that we subconsciously slip into our childhood selves the moment we are around family again. It happens without warning. We walk in as adults with responsibilities, and within minutes, we are reacting to patterns we thought we left behind. You might arrive ready to enjoy the day, but the moment someone comments on how you look or how much you've gained, comments like, of course, you're late again, or they bring up an old story, you feel your shoulders tense and a familiar frustration surface. And that moment is your cue. That is your cue to take a pause. Before you react, you take a breath. You ground yourself and let your adult self take the lead. The important part is noticing whether we are responding from our adult self, which is our core self, or our inner child that gets triggered sometimes, especially during the holidays. While it can be good when you're remembering wonderful Christmas memories, sometimes they can also feel not so great because, we've all had some unpleasant family memories that we may not want to remember anymore. So what I have learned to do is I run. I run before any events that might bring up any type of anxiety. It helps me regulate my system. It helps me reset and recharge so I can show up in the present moment as the person I am right now. Number 3 is running became the place where problems turn into solutions. As an entrepreneur, there are days, lots of days when I'm wrestling with a decision that feels too complicated. And I am at my desk trying to make sense of it, but my mind keeps looping in circles. I know that thinking harder is not going to give me clarity. Sitting at my desk isn't going to give me an answer. So I leave the house and start my run. I don't try to solve anything. I just move. And a few minutes in, something will shift. Ideas will form. Research explains this. Rhythmic movement improves creativity and cognitive flexibility, which is why solutions come when the body moves. Similar to how EMDR works. Eye movement, desensitization, reprocessing. I talk about EMDR on my other video, which I will link below. And by the turnaround point, I know what I need to do. Running can access parts of my brain that sitting at my desk can't. And number 4, running became the easiest way for my boys and I to stay in each other's world. This has been our routine since the day they were born. It started with me walking my son in a stroller around the neighborhood, checking out the lights, the Halloween decorations or Christmas lights. And then my second son was born and I upgraded to a double jogger and kept moving. And as they got bigger, they switched to bikes, and I jogged behind them to the park. Then came the rollerblades, which introduced a whole level of speed I definitely was not ready for. And eventually they started running with me. And now, honestly, I cannot keep up with them. They are way too fast. But every now and then, they slow down for me. Running became one of our version of family time. It is where I ask them how they feel about their new classes, where we talk about whatever Roblox game we're playing, or something simple like what we should make for dinner, right? It's easy, low pressure, and somehow the place where we stay connected as they grow. There was one summer when we ran every day, just the three of us. That was the summer when the idea for Hello Flutters came alive. Hello Flutters is the book I wrote to help children understand their emotions. It started right there on the trail where we see lots of squirrels and birds on our path. Finally, number 5. Running became my anchor on hard days. The world around us has been heavy, so much uncertainty, so much violence, and sometimes I wake up already exhausted. I sit at the edge of my bed and I question whether I should skip or maybe it's time to end the streak. But then I would think, okay, I would check my Strava to check what day of the streak I'm on because I don't want to just end at a random number. It has to be a milestone number. So I would say, okay, maybe after 5 months. And then it turns into, okay, maybe after 1 year or then after 2 years or in a couple weeks when I hit 1800. And that usually motivates me to keep going because I would push it off. I don't plan long term. I'm always just trying to hit the next milestone one day at a time. And I believe that's also what helps me keep the streak alive. The streak is long. 5 years is a lot. But I know what will happen if I stay in, if I stay home and not go out for that run. I know that the heaviness will stay too. So I put on my shoes slowly. I step outside even though my body wants to stay still. And the first steps always feel hard. But then my rhythm returns and my breath becomes, easy again. And my mind becomes clear and the heaviness is still there, but it no longer owns me. Running is that practice that saves me on the days when I feel most undone or scattered. It does ground me. It is the anchor that brings me back to myself. After 5 years, I can say this with complete honesty. What keeps me going is not just motivation. It's not only discipline. The most important is my purpose. Running supports the parts of my life that matter most, and that is what pulls me back to this practice every single day. It helps me keep caring for my clients with a clear mind and protects my nervous system so I can continue showing up for myself and the people who rely on me without burning out. It gives me clarity when my thoughts feel scattered or crowded, and it reconnects me to nature. And most importantly, it strengthens my relationship with the people that I care about and love. Running has rooted and rewired me into the person that I am today, right now. And these are the reasons that I keep going. And when I look at all of it closely, every reason leads back to the same place. The love for my work, the love for my family, the love for my health, the love for the life I am building, and the love for the woman I am becoming. Purpose built on love is what sustains me. And speaking of love, I want to also thank you all with all my heart. Sharing my daily runs on social media became its own form of accountability, and hearing from people who told me I inspire them to start walking or running or exercising meant more than you know. Those messages reminded me that this wasn't just about me staying healthy. It felt like we were all taking care of ourselves together. So I am grateful to all of you who continued to support me, encouraged me, and checked in with me along the way. And my friends and family who ran with me during vacations and trips, even when we were jet lagged, tired, or squeezed between busy schedules, or if the place to run around is a little sketchy, you kept me company and you helped keep my streak alive. So thank you. Thank you so much. And if you are in a place where you feel exhausted all the time, I want you to choose one thing that brings you back to yourself and grounds you and practice it consistently. It does not have to be running. It can be something simple like a 5-minute walk, stretching while you breathe slowly, writing 3 honest sentences in a journal, journaling, tidying one small corner of your home or office. It could also just be a single grounding breath before you check your phone every time. It only has to be something that reminds you that strength grows through the smallest choices you make every day. Thank you for celebrating this milestone with me, and thank you for continuing to watch my channel and for all your love and support. And if there was something in this video that resonated with you, or if you found this video helpful, I'd love for you to hit like, subscribe, or share it with anyone you feel may benefit from it. Thank you again, and until next time.